Today we're going to be looking at 16 targets for your fantasy football drafts here in 2023. This is going to help you build those rosters, get a better team, and help you win your championship. And I'm going to be with you throughout the season. I'm going to help you set lineups, get players off the waiver wire, make trades, and everything else. That's why you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Give it a good click, tap with the mouse, whatever you need to do to get it done. But John Cena's right here watching you. You don't want to make him upset. But let's go ahead and look at these 16 targets for your drafts, as we always do. And today, we're going to start things off with Justin Herbert. Right now, he's being valued as a QB6 in ADP. So, he's expensive still. But for what you're getting, you're kind of getting a little bit of a discount. Last year, he played through injury, but was still productive. 41 pass attempts per game. He's slinging the rock. Played through injury last year, so now he's healthy. He's going to be a little bit more mobile. You're going to get more rushing production. Team drafted Quentin Johnston, so now we got an athlete to add to this passing offense. If some of those veteran wide receivers get injured, Rashawn Slater's back, so the offensive line's going to be better. We're going to have a better offensive line. 134 completed air yards per game. He slings it downfield. Air yards is huge for a quarterback, especially when you're getting this many passing attempts and some of his mobility back, and you're getting him at QB6. We're in the AFC West. We're going to have some shootouts. You're going to want Justin Herbert, and you're getting him at a discount, especially if you're wanting to pay up a quarterback. QB6, good price tag. Next player we're looking at, Sky Moore. Everyone's talking about him right now. Training camp, he is the dandy, one of them from this Chiefs offense. We got a lot of wide receivers from this offense. You can look at Rashee Rice, you can look at Justin Ross, but Kadarius Toney's hurts. He had to have surgery, might be back for the start of the season, maybe not. They're speculating right now, but we got to see what's going on. Right now, Sky Moore's being valued as wide receiver 50. Look for that price to increase. That might increase, maybe around wide receiver 45, somewhere around there. Wide receiver 39-ish, maybe somewhere around that range. Let's see where the ADP changes as we get into August. Juju's gone, so who's going to take the snaps in the slot? Who's going to get the targets in the slot? Sky Moore profiles for that. That's like 45 targets from the snap gone. Juju is there with the vacated targets. Sky Moore could eat those up. He's also a second-round pick with some good athleticism. Profiles as a slot receiver, but he's in an explosive offense. My take here, you want all the Chiefs offense. You want all of it as much as you can. Sky Moore's one of those pieces you can get at a cheap discount. Next is Tyler Lockett. Wide receiver 33 in ADP. Good discount right now. 77 air yards per game last year and a 23% target share. 30% share of the air yards as well. Jackson Smith-Njigba is there. Yes, that is baked in the price tag right now. But look at the green bars in the graph below. That is showing his upside. He is a very volatile wide receiver. He can lose you some weeks, but he can also win you some weeks. When you're getting around the wide receiver 30, 40 range, upside is very important because the odds of you really hitting on a stable player isn't that great. You're getting a wide receiver here who's going to get his games. And reason why is you're getting the air yards and some target share to go along with it. So in plus matchups or in matchups where things break down, you're going to get some boom weeks. As long as he's healthy, which he is primarily healthy, you're seeing a lot of candlesticks down there. He is going to be on the field and he's going to have a few games every year. Can you count on it? No. Is this something you want to play with? That's up to you, but you're going to know there's going to be some upside games there. Next is Marquise Brown. Wide receiver 31 in ADP, DeAndre Hopkins is gone. He's going to get more target share. Should easy be in the 20% range, 25% range. Looking good for that. He's always been a guy who got a lot of air yards. He can be productive. Quarterback play, we're going to have to see what happens, especially with Kyler Murray's health. But again, he's going to get some opportunity. He's going to get an opportunity to get a high-end target share, and air yards is his middle name, wide receiver 31. Good price tag for him. Next, we are looking at Jalen Warren, RB44 in ADP. So if something happens to Najee, he's the next guy up. 11th in yards per touch last year, 5th in yards created per touch. So he does have some upside per carry. He can get you some wiggle We watched the training camp clips live on the channel last year. Dude's using the passing game, can move well, and he can deliver blows at the point of contact. RB44. We're looking at that range where we're just looking at backup running backs. We can paint a picture where you would want Jalen Warren. Next, Devonte Parker, wide receiver 82. You're not drafting him. You're just watching where he goes. He is not being drafted at this price tag, so I'm not advocating to draft him. But look at this. Let this soak in your head for a second. Don't draft Devonte Parker. But he got signed to a 3-year, $33 million deal. Patriots did that for a reason. Read the tea leaves of what teams do. 11.5 yards per target last year. Also played through injuries. Now he's healthy. Maybe we can get a consistent run of air yards or something. Look for him on the waiver wire early in the season. Watch him, see what happens. But wide receiver 82. So if you are in a deeper fantasy league, 22 rounds, 25 rounds, you might want to be looking at him, see if you can sneak a wide receiver because he could lead the Patriots in targets this year. That could potentially happen with how they signed him. That was a sneaky surprise. That might be a reading into the tea leaves that he might be getting more opportunity than what we're thinking when he's healthy. So maybe that's something you want to look at free. Free price tag, not anything more than free. Moving on, Antonio Gibson. RB32 ADP, JD McKissic's gone, but that's 40 targets vacated, leaving the team. This guy can produce some upside games, give you some double-digit PPR performances, as we saw from last year, and there's going to be more opportunity in the offense. Again, this guy has top-tier athleticism and is going to get more opportunity with McKissic gone. And the price tag's starting to get right for him. He used to be more valued last year in drafts. Now you're getting him at RB32. The right range when you want to invest in him right here, because there are some down weeks. There are down moments. He is sharing the backfield with Robinson. But we're getting some upside here, and we're getting him at a good price tag. Next, Zay Flowers, wide receiver 46 and ADP, is a first-round pick in this year's draft. 13 ADOT on his career. He had a year with over 15 over at Boston College. Can get downfield, can get air yards. That's what we're projecting. So we might see some spike weeks this year. You might see him in that Marquise Brown role because he's also a nuanced route runner. We should expect the volume in the passing game to increase to some degree with Todd Monken there. We also know Lamar Jackson likes to sling it deep, especially when the game script calls for it. That could go to Zay Flowers. A lot of targets goes to the tight end. We all know that. But those spike games while he's a rookie, that might be imminent considering how this wide receiver depth chart is looking right now. Now we're going to look at DJ Chark, wide receiver 69 ADP. If you want spike weeks, this is a guy that can do it for you. 16 average depth of target. With the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young's going to sling it downfield in some games. He's going to have to. He had 6 games with over 70 air yards and was injured last year. Has been a deep threat his entire career. And that's what we're chasing this deep in ADP. We're chasing upside with these wide receivers. Usually this late in draft, I want you to chase running backs, honestly. Get those backup running backs who are highly athletic in good situations and ambiguous backfields. But if you have to go wide receivers here in this late in the draft, DJ Chark, wide receivers with upside, they get air yards, and just play with the waiver wire on them with the plus matchups is what you want to do. 16 average depth target last year, getting passes deep downfield, connecting 1 or 2 of those in a game. Splash week. A lot of down weeks, I know. Splash weeks is what you're chasing for, because if they were consistent, they're going to have an ADP wide receiver 30, wide receiver 20. You're not paying that. You're paying for the inconsistency, but for the boom weeks. Next, Khalil Herbert, RB40 ADP. David Montgomery gone. 194 rushes, 29% opportunity share. Shipped off to Detroit. I like Rashawn Johnson, 4th round pick. This could be also a stab for Rashawn Johnson here, because I'm also going after him. But Khalil Herbert, the incumbent running back here, even with Deonta Foreman, could see some opportunities, could give you some boom weeks. I don't expect consistency. I expect this running back depth chart to really turn on its head. But if you're looking for a cheap running back, you're looking for some touches, you got an incumbent running back who had some spike weeks on his career. Next, we're going to be looking at Kirk Cousins, QB 13 and ADP, top 5 in yards and attempts last year. Vikes 7th in pace, a fast-paced offense. He's got Justin Jefferson to sling the ball to, and now we have Jordan Addison, first-round wide receiver, and we know he likes to go fast. Kirk Cousins in a prime situation, QB 13 ADP as well. Cheap quarterback to get in fantasy. Next is Daniel Jones. If you want another cheap quarterback, if you want to go late with your quarterback, we got you. Daniel Jones, QB 14 ADP, 0.57 in fantasy points per dropback, 7th in the NFL. 708 rushing yards last year. So he's got a little bit of that Konami code that you want, because running quarterbacks elevate their floor. And if they run a lot, then obviously they're one of the tops. But with that standard rushing production there, that's good to see. 14th in pass attempts too. So we're getting a steady flow of production here with Daniel Jones. Plus he's dirt cheap. You're getting a QB2 price tag. You can't really argue with that. Next, Rondell Moore, wide receiver 60 in ADP. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. So targets are going to open up in this offense. And when Rondell Moore is healthy, which is rare these days, he does get production. He gets targets, up to 10 or so targets in a game. Something you want to look out for. And he's cheap. Double-digit rounds. A flyer per se. Next, another flyer, and I like him a lot. I like him as a breakout player. Jaden Reed, wide receiver 73 in ADP, 239 vacated targets in this offense. Though Aaron Rodgers is gone, so this offense might slow down a bit. That's one thing you want to think about. But he broke out with 2 different collegiate programs. Western Michigan, Michigan State. He can break out easy. He might transition quickly here with the Packers and might become a target hog for all we know. They invested a 2nd round picking him for a reason. The tape looks good from college. The market share statistics look good. This guy is flying under the radar in fantasy drafts right now. And last and not least, we're looking at Tyler Boyd, wide receiver 51 in ADP, handcuffed to Chase and Higgins. Volatile production, as you've seen through the last few years, averaging 11.2 PPR points per game in his last 2 seasons, but can give you spike weeks. And if something happens to either Chase or Higgins, you got the handcuff, because he's going to see an increase in production. We've seen that over time the last few years. And as a lone piece, can get you some production. There's going to be down weeks. However, it's wide receiver 51. You're going to have that. If he was consistent, he'd be like wide receiver 20 or so. Think about that when you're thinking about price. Not a promotion, because anybody at wide receiver 40 past, they got some bugaboos in their game. You got to think about it. Everything is according to price in fantasy football, especially the deeper you get in your draft. Shoot for upside, especially at the wide receiver spot. Late in drafts, running backs, handcuffs that you like, athletic running backs who are in an ambiguous situation, who could pop off in any moment. One injury away from being a fantasy asset. Just have them stashed and then play the waiver wire throughout the season. Easy process, easy money. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Catch you on the next video.